Hey guys, I thought I would come on here and show you the big pretty full moon there's been so many fireworks going off and we've been just spending a little bit of time with some family and everything and I just thought I would come out here and I hope I catch some fireworks. I don't know if I can show you guys any or not, but there's the big, well, goodness, I'm behind some trees, but the big pretty full moon, it looks more like a harvest moon than it does a moon for a July. I don't know if where you guys are that you can see that reddish kind of orange kind of glow about it. Maybe I'll get a better shot of it here in a second. But we're here on the East Coast, so I don't know how dark it is where you guys are yet. And the fireworks have been going off here for about an hour, since about 9 o'clock. But nevertheless, guys, I wanted to come on here and report something that I'm pretty sure that I heard yesterday when I was listening to a couple of YouTube videos, because I was just trying to catch up, from the surgery that I had. And I've been a little bit behind, on everything. And I thought to myself, didn't I hear Lashara Pinksley? Wasn't it one of her dreams? And forgive me if I'm wrong, guys, but I thought it was Lashara that said that she had a dream where bears were in the city. And I think she's had a couple of dreams about bears, and so has Barry Scarborough, I know, over the years. And I think Amanda Christian has too. And anyway, guys, just yesterday, down on UK's campus in the middle of town, in the town that I live in Lexington, Kentucky, wouldn't you all know that there was a black bear on campus running all over campus? And my mother had told me, she had called me and she said, Kim, guess what's going on? If you all, hear of anything else, let me know. She goes, but I promise you, I think that I heard that there was a black bear running around on campus. Well, sure enough, I vetted the information, and that was true. It was a full-grown bear. They said they thought he was young, and but he was running around, and I guess he got scared because he's not used to being in the middle of the city. And guys, we're not used to having a whole lot of bear around here in central Kentucky anyway. I mean, most of them are around the border, closer to Tennessee. So we don't see a lot of them unless you live in the bordering counties down close to the state of Tennessee, to the south of us. But central Kentucky, it's a rarity for sure. And so I thought, well, it's a fulfillment of a lot of dreams out there for sure. And I think it's a sign, to us as well. And I just wanted y'all to see the big, pretty full moon. And it reminds me of when Jesus said, don't you all have a saying that it's 4 months to harvest, but look at the fields and lift up your head because it is white unto harvest now. And that's what it reminded me of, because it looks like the big, pretty, full harvest moons that we see in the fall. And so anyway, guys, I thought I'd report on that and say happy 4th to all you guys out there. And, maybe spend some time with, the Lord and your family. And what does it say? Encourage each other as we see the day approaching. And who knows, we might actually plant a seed this weekend sometime for the last sheep, and it would be so beautiful. And those clouds around that full moon remind me of a vision that I had back when I was it was November of 2016, and just that January of 2016, the Lord had woke me up to know that his days of return were really near. And that's really when I came to YouTube and started fellowshipping with a lot of you guys, and because I was aware of what time it was then, and besides that, I didn't know about a rapture before. Not only was I thinking the Lord's return was really near, but I guess if you really come to think of it, since I only knew about a second coming, I was thinking that, that would be at the end of, the 7-year tribulation, when the Battle of Armageddon was taking place, and, that we'd have to go through the whole thing, even if it were our timing. But what a blessing it is to know once we know, right, guys? And if I'm leaning upon my own understanding, I certainly don't think so. I know who speaks to me, and I know how the Lord speaks to me over the years, and I've asked for confirmation on it, and certainly something that I didn't know even existed. And so I stayed on YouTube for about a year and a half before I even ever made a video or anything like that. And I think it's apropos too. Then I've gone back and tried to find it, but the very first video that I ever uploaded was telling about a dream that I'd had, and now it's been about 10 or 12 years ago, guys. And I had no idea what it meant at the time. No idea, because this was like probably 2009 or 10 when I had the dream, and what it was. And really why I came to YouTube, because I felt like it was like an end days dream, but I didn't know what it all meant. But I know that there were a few of you guys that had come and commented on it, that I'd been watching your channels, and you all made comments to it. So maybe some of you guys will remember that dream as well from my first video. And what it was, there were these towers, and they were being erected very fast. And the men who were erecting the towers looked like they were police agents, but they weren't dressed like local police. They were dressed like all in black and very ominous looking, and they acted kind of robotic, and it was really weird. And they had guns strapped across them, and some of them were guarding the towers being erected, and some of them were building the towers, and everybody was hunkered down in their homes, and everybody was afraid to go outside, and it wasn't because of any COVID-19 or anything like that. I wasn't shown anything like that. But the reason is because of these towers. Because I was led to know in these dreams that the aliens were helping the governments, at behest of the aliens, that the governments were erecting these towers. And doesn't that make a whole lot more sense today? I mean, back 10, 12 years ago, I had no idea that the aliens were not... that they weren't interplanetary, but that they were interdimensional demons, and they are working with mankind and have been since the beginning. The Nephilim, and we know all those things now, guys. And the towers, I believe, could have very easily been and look like the 5G towers that we see today. And in the dream, the towers were supposed to emit a signal once they were complete, and that signal could actually end human life. And now, of course, I've seen a few videos that suggest that these 5G towers are just that. That they, potentially could, hurt some people, just as the radio waves were when they first introduced radio back years ago at the end, I believe it was, of World War I. So, a lot of people called that the Spanish flu, but some people swear that it was really the introduction of radio waves into our atmosphere. So who knows, guys? I mean, the elites have many things planned, I'm sure, but the Holy Spirit, He gives us dreams and vision. It says in the Bible that, He will pour out His Spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will dream, or your old men will dream dreams, and your young men will see visions, and that's simply the way it is. It says even on your handmaidens that, He will pour out His Spirit in those days, and it's just the way that it is, guys. The Holy Spirit lets us know what we need to know, and it's confirmation for the days that we're in as well. So just look up, guys, and keep encouraging others, and plant seeds for others, and watch out for bears in the middle of your city. And I love you guys, and I'm sure that we'll talk really soon.